Sure. Now we are talking about the strategic alliance. Strategic alliance actually it is a cooperative agreements between potential and actual competitors. Okay. Examples including the formal joint venture and the short-term contractual arrangements. Okay. And also the number of the international strategic alliance has been risen significantly in recent decades. Okay. Actually, the most commonly seen strategic alliance is the so-called technological strategic alliance, because a lot of the competitors they still need to have the same standards. Okay, so a lot of the firms they have to form their association to set up their common standards. Okay, so they can produce the product according to these standards. Okay, so I see there is a figure say that 80% of the strategic alliance actually they are technological standards. Okay, alliance. Why the strategic alliance is become much more popular? It is because of there are some advantages. Okay, because they can facilitate entry into foreign markets. There is a very famous cases like the Japanese car maker Nissan and the Renault, okay, and the Renault firms. Okay, Nissan plus Renault, okay, they are a very famous strategic alliance. Okay, they even cross-holding their own shares, try to consolidate their strategic alliance. Okay, and also Nissan help Renault to go into East Asia markets. And Renault helped Nissan to go to the Western Europe markets. Okay, so they facilitate entry into the foreign international markets. And also, as you see, in the Nissan and the Renault, they also share the fixed cost. A lot of the car models and the components between Nissan and the Renault, they can be shared. So a lot of Nissan car actually they are using the Renault's models and the Renault's components, and or vice versa. So it can substantially to share the risks of the developing new products or developing the new processes. They can lower the potential risks. Okay, and also they can bring in together the complementary skill and assets. They need partners who easily developed on its own. It is also the same case about the Nissan and the Renault. Okay, Nissan has a better engines. Okay, but the Renault has a much more better the car models. Okay, so they can share their complementary skill and the assets to make both even better. And also, as I said, 80% of the strategic alliance are the technological standards. Okay, alliance. Okay, even the competitors they need to form the technological standards. I give you an example like the Huawei. Okay, Huawei is a pioneering company in the 4G and particularly 5G era. Okay, so the 5G technological standards. Okay, it is associations including Huawei and AT&T and Ericsson and so forth, and so many different telecommunications companies. They gather together. They share their technological assets. Okay, to form the technological standards. Okay, but also there are some disadvantages of the strategic alliance, because strategic alliance can give competitors low-cost routes to new technologies and the markets. Okay, there is another very interesting example in a car market. That is the Rover Group, the British Rover Groups, Rover and Honda. Okay, the Honda now is a very major car makers, but before in 1960s and 1970s, Honda was a motorbike maker, right? Honda still has a very high market share in the motorbike, particularly in the Southeast Asia. Okay, You know that in the 1960s, Rover have a new revolutionary, the small car engines. Okay, very high efficiency small car engines. Okay, but the Rover, for some reasons, they decided to license to Honda. They formed a strategic alliance. They outsourcing Honda and asking Honda to producing the engines for Rover. As you see now, Rover, the company has been bankrupt. Okay, but Honda was still there. The reason is that Honda using Rover's technology, then developing the new engine from Rover and the next generation and the two next generations. So they already set foot in the car engine markets and become then very successful car makers. So therefore, unless a firm is very careful, it can give away more in a strategic alliance than it receives, just like a Rover. Okay, it's very short-termism. They focus on the short-term interest rather than the long-term perspective. So that's why a Rover has been vanished. Okay, how can we make an alliance work? Okay, how can we make an alliance work and much safer? I think there are some criteria for you to really consider it. The first one is the partner selections. Okay, you have to collect as much as information as possible to know if this company or these firms is reliable one. So you have to choose carefully about your partner. Okay, so you have to collect the information as much as possible. So the strategic alliance is just like a marriage. Okay, the partner selections is a very important processes. Okay, and also you have to gather the data from the informed the third parties. Okay, and also get to know the potential partner well before committing any kind of resources and efforts. Okay, and also you have to be very fully aware about the alliance structures. Okay. It can be designed to make it difficult to transfer technologies. Okay, you don't mean to transfer. Okay, for example, like the Coca-Cola. Okay, Coca-Cola they have the joint venture and the strategic alliance around the world. Okay, but Coca-Cola. Okay, I have to mention it first. Okay, Coca-Cola has two layers production. Okay, the first one is to making the concentrated syrup. Concentration syrup. Okay, and the second is bottling businesses. Okay, the syrup and the bottling businesses. They are two different layers. For the syrup, or sometimes we call it a concentrated juice. It is one of the top secrets, okay, holding by the Coca-Cola. Okay, so I say there is a magic secret formula for Coca-Cola. Okay, and so this is the business risks, business secrets. Okay, so they don't want to risk any possible potential dangers to lose that. So you know the Coca-Cola, they produce the syrups by themselves. They only strategic alliance or joint venture with other international firms in the bottling businesses. So that means we saw the Taiwan Coca-Cola firms. They are actually a Taiwan Coca-Cola bottling companies because the syrups is produced in America. And then it shipped the concentrated juice and the syrups to Taiwan. And in Taiwan, they do the bottling, dilute, pumping some the carbon dioxide gas, okay, into the bottles and bottling it. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so by carefully differentiate the businesses, so it makes it difficult to impossible to transfer any possible secrets or technologies to potential strategic alliance partners. Okay. And the second is we can sign some contractual safeguards. Okay. It can be written to alliance agreements to guard against the risk of the opportunisms. Okay. And then the third is that the both parties can agree in advance to swap skill and technologies that the others covets. Okay. That is the Renault's and Nissan's case. Both of them, they know it's difficult in a car markets, in a car businesses, to differentiate so carefully, just like the Coca-Cola. Okay. So they swap their valuable technology and the skill together in advance. Okay. So that is also a common practices in the businesses. And making the alliance work, and how to managing is also important. Okay. It requires managers from both companies to build the interpersonal relationship, because sometimes we call it the relational capitals. Once there is a very good relational capitals between the firms, it is more likely the alliance will be working properly. And they should promote learning from alliance partner, learning from their culture, learning from their the processes, etc. Okay, so it will make these two partners more alike. Okay, when you are learning to each other, particularly in the culture, and you also should promote the diffusions of the learned knowledges throughout the organizations. Not only to learn from each other, and you should diffuse the learned knowledges throughout the organizations. Once the two companies, they have a more similarity in culture and the processes and etc., they are much more easily to working together in the long terms.